Well, look at the Doomben storm. It is coming down in bucket loads. There's an indefinite delay at Doomben. The fate of the balance of the meeting is unknown at this stage. They've just had the heavens have opened in Brisbane. Now, Flemington Race 8, Royal Code, top rater, ahead of Savage Attack, Haste Your Back and Rubertano. Rubertano easing slightly, but still a clear-cut favourite at $3 ahead of Royal Code and Chong Tong. OK, here is Greg Miles for the Bobby Lewis Handicap.
Coming up now is Gallopini. An interesting observation from Scotty Seamer too after the Craigley. He suggested that Elegant Fashion should be looking for something a little bit easier, so she just might drop back a grade. Innovation Girl outstanding and just one of the great rides, I believe. Karen McAvoy, the most patient ride in a sprint race you'd ever wish to see. There's Pestum now going up into the line. Reese McLeod on board. He won this race last year, Reese, on Scenic Peak. Rubertano took the outside. So they're all in. Set to run. Rubertano racing. Oh, he went down on his nose, Rubertano, a stride after the beginning of the race. Looked like there was one. Gallopini very slow to move. Chong Tong is going over their heels from barrier 1 to get towards the outside. Now as they settle into stride, and despite that little mishap at the start, Rubertano's up at the leading pack and down towards the 850 metre mark. He's up there with Toscanos, Desert Sky, Haste Your Back, the widest runner. Mr. Magoo off to sea in behind them, and they're followed by Pestum over on the outside rail. Fritz coming closer to the middle of the course, is followed by Windigo, and then came Savage Attack. Royal Card's got a fair way back in the field. So too is Chong Tong, followed by Sports Brat and Gallopini on the outside rail. Down towards the 400 metres, and it's Rubertano the leader from Haste Your Back and Mr. Magoo on the far side, closely followed by Desert Sky. Pestum over on the outside rail, and then off to sea. Toscanos is next, and Savage Attack working home. Chong Tong trying to weave through. Rubertano with Mr. Magoo challenging at the 200 metres. Chong Tong getting home, and so is Royal Code. Rubertano in front. Chong Tong and Royal Code are after Rubertano. Rubertano with Chong Tong pegging him back. Chong Tong, Rubertano, they come down to the line. Chong Tong looks to have got there. Chong Tong from Rubertano, Royal Code, a great sprint. They were followed by Mr. Magoo, off to sea, Pestum, and then Sports Brat, Savage Attack, Fritz, followed by Windigo and Toscanos, Gallopini. Haste Your Back, back towards the tail of the field, with Desert Sky dropping out to finish last of all. Stand by, it's a photo finish. Chong Tong in the middle, Rubertano's on the outside. Think Chong Tong. Here it goes. 3's got it. Chong Tong, Damien Oliver. Number 3, Chong Tong, Damien Oliver has won it. Second placing 1, Rubertano, Nash Rawilla. In a very, very close finish to the race, with 3rd to 5, Royal Code, ridden by Brett Preble. Numbers are 3, 1 and 5. 3, 1 and 5 in 110.9. There'll be a nose advantage for Chong Tong at $9.30 and $3 even. Rubertano $1.50, Royal Code at $2. 4th was Off to Sea, number 8. 5th was Mr. Magoo. Well, that was just a champion ride and a great response from Chong Tong. It's very deceptive, the angle. I'm sure that most people watching that race would have thought Rubertano had lasted, but the camera's offset probably 15 or 20 metres maybe before the line, and it gives the illusion that the outside has won. But Chong Tong has just got there on the inside. 3, 1 and 5. What a ride, what a run. He drew barrier 1 and nobody wanted him. He went out without friends. But what a ride by Damien Oliver. He's had to pick and weave his way through the field. And you watch his reaction when he's hit the line. He knew he'd peg back Rubertano and won. And he just gives it a real, I don't know if we'll see it or not, but he gives it a real punch and a little bit of satisfaction that he knows a good plan has come to fruition, and he's got there, because this horse has been pretty unlucky for so many different circumstances. He was not a well horse with sore feet when he was in Sydney, and he ran some super races without luck in the Newmarket, the Oakley and the Lightning. He could have clean swept a lot of them had the brakes gone his way. Maybe the tide's turning for him in the spring of 2002. 3, 1 and 5 numbers on one of the better races of the day.
Righto, Greg. Yeah, that was a ride that every budding young jockey in Australia should watch over and over again. As far as straight six racing is concerned, that is. He drew barrier one on the flat side, came out of the gates, turned right, hung a right, went straight to the grandstand rail, then had to play it for luck because there was a massive bunch of horses in front of him. The splits came, Ollie was there to capitalise on them, and Chong Tong's a horse who seems to love the smother, and when the split came he fairly exploded. He looked burly to me in the parade before the race, and he's probably going to improve even further, but he's a classy sprinter, and what a classy jockey. OK, Morfettville. Top 8, 30 Quinella, 34.30 Exacta, 118 even is the trifecta. Hilton Donaldson.
Inside. Storm Zero, an interesting runner, resuming today. He's now a gelding. Still shows him in the book as an entire, but he was gelded after his last run in the Queensland Guineas back in May. He's been reasonably solid in betting operation Storm Zero. It wouldn't be at all surprising to see him run well. But History Maker is the popular pick, and in New South Wales just a tick better on the tote at $4 than what she is downstairs. Well, the rider of the favourite History Maker, Bernie Cooper, has had to dismount. The Gay Waterhouse trained mare is very much on the toe this afternoon. She won't go into the stalls. Yes, some great highlights here today. Lonhro's win in the Chelmsford Stakes. Victory Vane, of course, in the Furious. Terrific tramway handicap, despite the fact he ran third. Terrific return by Universal Prince. And there'll be plenty to talk about and watch tomorrow on Sky, particularly at 9 o'clock in Racing Retro. Now History Maker has been persuaded to move in. There's the red light. And we'll soon see a start in the final event of the day, the James Barnes Transitional Handicap. Cognac Trader, an interesting runner, up to his stiffest test today. They're in, they're off. Cognac Trader came out a little slowly. Other than that, a good break, and Reinhardt and a History Maker jump well. Please showing a lot of speed this afternoon, and so is Darm Lucky, Just Imagine. And then comes Barrowin, followed closely by Storm Zero, improving ground quickly. Floria's very wide out, and the same can be said for Yes Chief, followed by Evander, and Cognac Trader's dropped out last. Now Reinhardt, he's pressing on for the leaderboard, Reinhardt, but Darm Lucky's going with it to head it. Third is History Maker, followed a length and a half further away in the field, Plea. On its outside is Beamer, then Just Imagine, Floria, Storm Zero the middle. Barrowin on the rails over Cognac Trader, Evander, and Yes Chief in a tightly packed field is last of all. To the 600 they go, and it's History Maker the leader now. History Maker's out a half length on Darm Lucky. A length to Reinhardt, no luck, followed by Plea on the inside, and then comes Beamer and Floria, followed by Just Imagine, and Yes Chief and Barrowin, Cognac Trader, Storm Zero, and Evander as they wheel, and History Maker, the heavily backed favourite, comes up the rise, about a length clear. Second is Darm Lucky. Reinhardt still battles on. Then Floria, followed by Yes Chief. And here's Evander starting to sprout wings on the extreme outside. So quickly has Evander gone. It's at the front for Beatman. Evander a length, Yes Chief, and then Cognac Trader. But this is a win by Evander. Evander beat Cognac Trader and Yes Chief from Reinhardt. And then Beamer, Just Imagine, History Maker, Darm Lucky, Please, Storm Zero, Barrowin, and Floria dropped out to finish last. Number one, Evander's won the last. $16.20. That gives Darren Beatman 3 winners for the day. And Hawksey has had a double, hasn't he? Yeah. 3 for Hawksey. Lonhro, Gordo, and now this winner. Evander, first up since the race at Eagle Farm in June. What's he going to pay? $16 upwards, $16.20 and $3.90. Number one, Evander, written by Darren Beatman for John Hooks, has taken the final event of the day. Number 13 is second, and that is Cognac Trader, written by Brian York. It'll pay $2.10. And number 11, Yes Chief, written by Corey Brown, has paid $10. Number 12 was the official fourth, Reinhardt. Didn't he run a race after being in no man's land all the way? Evander by Octagonal from Shame, beautifully bred horse, isn't he? And that was his second win from 15 starts He's promised a lot. He hasn't quite delivered, but is this going to be his preparation? Who knows? Well, he certainly flew there to win in 1:24.58. Quinella 61.10. Exacta 108.90, trifecta 2,758.20. The first four $16,529.10. And John, that's about all I can relate to you from Royal Randwick for the moment. Nice to have had your company. Oh, here are margins coming up now to wrap it up. Thanks, Tone. A length and a half a short neck, 1:24.58, 36.04, and wait to complete all details on a wonderful day here at Randwick.
Nice to have your company too, Ian. Thank you very much indeed, and drive safely. Vander, Darren Beedman, 16.20 and 3.90. I don't want to take anything away from the winner because he came from a mile back, but by crikey, the second horse was stiff. Cognac Trader, an enormous run, 2.10. He's pretty good, I think, Cognac Trader. He's a horse with a future. That's only his 5th race start. A lot of improvement ahead of him. Now, Toowoomba race 3, Sea Magic 3.10.
Enough it does to move in now. Yes, best tried Court of Jewels. With the scratchings in the race at particularly El Caballo, it's likely to get a soft lead in front and be pretty hard to hold out. Punters recognising that and have backed it to favouritism. Second pick now on course is Gypsy Lad. Thong Classic has continued to ease right out in the betting. Menang has been easy as well. The Almighty One, the best tried at longer odds in the race. Smoking Barrel is coming up into the line now for Peter Merton. Soldado is getting set. La Destina is right, so we need Grey Song to move up and we'll have them right to go. His first start since winning the St Ledger back in April. Grey Song takes the outside gate now. Set to run. Brodance just shifting around in the gates a little. Racing now. Leather Lane jumping well towards the inside with Brodance, and Gypsy Lad began positively. Court of Jewels is driving forward early in the piece now, and Menang is being dug up to retain a position just off these, and then the Almighty One wide out. Thong Classic has got back. He's about third last now. Out towards the 1400, Leather Lane had the lead. Out by a length and a half. Gypsy Lad is second. Brodance is third, and Court of Jewels content to sit up there fourth, a length away. Another length in the field to Menang over on the inside, followed by Smoking Barrel, and caught wide as the Almighty One improving. 2 lengths As You Do, also 3 wide, but does have a little cover there, the grey. Then Soldado touched the groom, Leicester Thunderwing, a length and a half, Mr Prudent. Thong Classic on the outside of La Destina, and then 4 lengths away is Grey Song on the inside of Prince Benbara. 900 left to go, and Court of Jewels had strode round the field, and now is the leader to Gypsy Lad and Leather Lane. 2 lengths away, Brodance, the Almighty One, about 3 lengths Smoking Barrel. Menang over on the inside from As You Do, and then a length and a half Soldado. Touched the groom, Leicester Thunderwing. Mr Prudent a long way back, and so is Thong Classic, followed by La Destina, and then Prince Benbara, who's second last turning, and Grey Song. Into the straight they race now. Court of Jewels away from the rail, the leader. Leather Lane can come back on the inside. Gypsy Lad's right there. Brodance is wider out, 2 or 3 lengths the Almighty One, and they were followed by As You Do, and then Smoking Barrel and Menang from Soldado. Inside the 300, Court of Jewels being tackled by Gypsy Lad. Smoking Barrel's running on okay behind these, and then Brodance, the Almighty One. It's now Court of Jewels about a neck in front. Gypsy Lad trying hard. They'll fight it out. Court of Jewels is giving plenty on the inside of Gypsy Lad. Court of Jewels just in front. Court of Jewels ahead, Gypsy Lad. 3 lengths the Almighty One getting up for third. Grey Song's run on well, and then Brodance. Leicester Thunderwing wide out from Smoking Barrel, Mr Prudent and Soldado. Menang battled home only, and they were followed by Leather Lane, and then came Touch the Groom, La Destina, Thong Classic, who's well back, and then came As You Do, and last in Prince Benbara. Court of Jewels, ridden by Scott Seamer, takes out the final event. He sat off the pace in about 4th place early, but then made a quick dash to take over the running and dictated it from about the half-mile home. Court of Jewels, Scotty Seamer and Tony McAvoy taking the final event today. Second placing 9, Gypsy Lad, ridden by Greg Childs, looked to have every hope in the race. And third going to number 12, the Almighty One, Brett Preble and John Wheeler. Official placing 7, 9 and 12 in the last event. Fourth home was 5, Grey Song. Great effort first up since his St Ledger win. And fifth in number 8, Brodance. Scotty Seamer winning the last on the card clever ride taking the front, and he allowed them to go early, and then when they tried to steady the pace, he shot round them and took the lead. And this horse, he just got gassed the other day in front, and he had a much better run this afternoon. Scotty riding a good race. I think he won the last Saturday as well. Winner is by Danehill from 9 Carat by Sir Tristram, a beautifully bred 5-year-old. He's only had the 13 outings, and he's won 4 of them and been placed 4 other times. It was in the Heatherley handicap, and he just got bloused by Chairman's Choice last time out, but a better run, and he's been able to rack up full points in the last. Gypsy Lad second, and third place going to the Almighty One. No wonder Thong Classic blew like the north wind. He was out the back and never got into the race at any stage, and Menang battled away only. Totes in the last Court of Jewels, 5.10 and 1.90. Gypsy Lad 2.10. The Almighty One paid $5.50. Quinella 12.70, exacted 26.90. Trifecta 359.50, and the running double paid $81.50. Today's quaddie paid $594.80 on 9, 2, 10 and 3. The daily double was $25.90 on 2 and 3. It's been a wonderful afternoon of racing. Hope you found a winner or two. Look forward to joining you during the week when we go racing again.
Good on you, Greg. Thanks for your help today. Greg mentioned that Scott Seamer had ridden the last winner a week ago. I think he might have ridden it the week before that too. I think you'll find he's won the final race on the Melbourne card 3 of the last 4 weeks. It's becoming quite a pattern, reminiscent of the days of the legendary Billy Cook, who did it so often that his popular nickname in Sydney racing became Last Race Cookie. And Scott Seamer's doing something similar at the moment. Good night kiss at Doomben with correct weight.
Bairnsdale